Welcome to come, and that's what it is. Okay, well, we've been looking at our D.H. Lawrence friend here, and we were talking about what a good natural writer he was, and how I'm sure he just like wrote this off in like a day or two one day when he came back from the trip, when it was all fresh in his mind. And, I'm sure he didn't correct it. I'm sure he didn't have a computer word processing. You know, I'm sure he just wrote it out. Because he writes it the way a person wants. And we were also talking about what an interesting person he is. Okay, you guys, I'll tell you what. You're going to make your phone go outside, and you can actually telephone each other. Put you on this side and hit her over there. You can talk back and forth on your cell phone to each other. It's a really exciting thing. So he's in a way that we were talking about last time. He's the first flower child, isn't he? I mean, talk about flower children in this country, and of course, I guess you guys aren't flower children anymore. Real estate is too expensive now to be a flower child. So, you know, if you got to buy a home at some point or rent something for $500,000, I mean, for me, $500,000 on this, $800,000, you're supposed to be a millionaire to pay those kind of prices. So, you know, people have to kind of work themselves to the grindstone just to survive in a maelstrom of that kind. So, I mean, flower children, I mean, you know, how can flower children survive in such a situation? It's impossible. So there were some flower children running around in the 60s, as you know. But I think that the oil crunch probably destroyed them. I mean, I don't think it was that their ideas were necessarily wrong, or what they were trying to, the life they were trying to lead was not attractive. I think, you know, I really do think that the price of oil is just priced them out of business. Because, you know, inflation started right around that time, in the early 70s, when the oil embargoes, the oil prices began to hit. Right after, during and after the Vietnam War and the aftermath of the Vietnam War. So, the only place I know of any flower children now is up in Eugene, Oregon, if you've ever been up that way. There seem to be a lot of tie-dye people still hanging around up there. How many have been to Eugene in any time recently? There's still some of them up there, aren't there? I mentioned it in our talking about Vita, that there's a vegetarian restaurant up there. So, that would be the Hare Krishna movie. But still, there are a lot of tie-dye people hang around up there. So, what is it about Lawrence that makes him a kind of flower child? He has a flower sensibility. He cares about flowers. You say, oh, I'm a man, I don't care about flowers. Well, maybe you don't. But you know, you'll find that women actually do. I mean, I'm not generalizing, but it's a fact. And they, as he says, you can get far further in life with delicate sensibility than stopping people to death. And I think, particularly where they used to call it the fairer sex, I don't know what you want to call it these days, but you're not even supposed to distinguish between sexes anymore, so I mean, it's really tough for me to talk about the subject. But particularly where the other sex is concerned, they react very well, I think, to delicate sensibility. They like something that is both delicate sensibility and also has a certain strength to it. But I don't think they react well to brutality and so on and so forth. So, I mean, if you're a man here, I mean, it doesn't mean you have to go become, it doesn't mean you have to sort of become totally feminine or something like that. That's the word you want to use, just a delicate area. But I think you will find you will be much more appreciated as a person who combines all these characteristics. And that's why I say Lawrence seemed to do that. And of all the people that we've encountered, he perhaps would be the most fun to be with as a person. If you think of the people that we've encountered, and that's not everybody in the universe, we've maybe encountered 5 or 6 people here, but still, as a person, he would be really fun to spend some time with. I think you'll see it here. He's intelligent, he's sensitive, he's not a weakling, you know, he's got definite ideas, he knows about things, he's self-taught, and so on. And he's extremely lively, and he reacts to his environment with a tremendous sensitivity. So, having said all that, he goes into this town, he's leaving Rome. Where is he going to? Cerveteri or Cerveteri, however you want to. I've actually brought some markers today. To put something on the board for you guys. So he actually is going to this town or place, Cerveteri or Cerveteri. I find it easier to say. I think Italians do say Cerveteri, but I find Cerveteri rolls off my tongue better. So if you'll permit me to mispronounce it, I will. Sometimes it's more fun to mispronounce things than to say it the correct way. He's going to Cerveteri. It's more like what an English word would sound like. And what's in Cerveteri? Tombs. Tumuli. And whose tumuli are they? The remains of Etruscan civilization. You have pictures of them in some of your books, right? So the word is tumuli. So he goes out and he's on the way to a place called Lattice Poli. I suppose they take a bus or a train or something. Anyway, they get off, they're still about 10 miles or 10 kilometers from where they want to get to, these tombs at Cerveteri, and of course, there's no way to get there. And the bus has already come, it's sitting in the town, it's not going anywhere. He goes into a cafe or a little restaurant, into a sort of, I guess you would say it's not a grotto, but a kind of downstairs sort of place in a cavern of some kind where people are eating, and the food is pretty bad. And what does he see in this cavern, pretty useless place, restaurant? He sees the Faun Man. And what is the Faun Man? The Faun Man is natural man, not deadened by morals, as he puts it, right? That doesn't really exist necessarily except in Lawrence's imagination, right? Not deadened by morals. Where does he get that idea of not deadened by morals from? I told you last time, didn't I? Nietzsche. Beyond Good and Evil. Nietzsche was the popular writer of the late 19th century. See, and now, you know, we actually have a pen here, so we can actually write it up on the board. There we go.